I have a very different spin on simulation theory. And the simulation is an economic simulation, in my opinion. And what that's dealing with is the man made material world. So there's the three layers of reality are nature's world, man's material aspirations to build a material world, which is the facade, and the material world that he actually ends up with, or she actually ends up with. And so the simulation is the way of a group of people who run the upper rankings and the upper ruling sectors of society. And so obviously society is working top down. And so you have these power officials who are delegating systems. And the systems are a monopoly that are under the authority of these powerful people, these powerful groups. And it's a powerful architecture that's created by this group. And the architecture is the simulation. So everything you can think about with money, it doesn't really produce a good experience that's full of genuine artifacts or genuine experiences. What it does produce is things that can be animated, hence simulation, through the monetary exchange. And money basically was more powerful than people realized, I think, to where it was able to really control the souls and minds of people. Because think about this, you would not do most of what you do if you didn't have to do it to acquire money. So the simulation is the money. The simulation is a design. The simulation is an architecture of the economy. And it goes against nature, and that's why it's a simulation. That's the basic principle of that. That's the only reason that it's artificial is because it's not natural. It's a derivative of the components of nature, and then it's handled by people through consciousness, through our thought processes, but it's not the actual mechanical world. So somehow, through all these processes, we manifest changes in the development of the natural world, but we're playing a slippery slope of catch-up because every time we develop something, 10 things go wrong because it's against nature. So everything that we do, not only do we have to go and fight nature again, but we also have to do the patchwork to protect the power structure. And to protect the power structure, that's where your so-called evil forces come into play. Because the forces that will protect the power structure will do so by any means. And so this is a way of design of people. And whether it's in a book or whether it was a tribe that did it or a group that did it, there's an obvious ruling sect of society. But it's not just that it's part of the emotional construct of people that they want to strive to all be powerful and to all be rulers. So they get indoctrinated through this desire to achieve this sort of parenthood, this guardianship, this godship over the earth. So I think that the simulation is basically just because we went against the natural order. And anything that goes against nature's laws is a simulation or it's artificial, whatever you want to call it. And the entire man-made artificial materialistic world is constructed on money. And so none of it would be powered the same way without money being a monopoly controlled by a powerful sector of people, which is a force of nature inside of people that wants things to go in a certain direction to the direction of order and power, elitism, natural selection, all these things. I mean, using the terms loosely, but I think it's not so much that it's a computer simulation, and I think that that's what people are too obsessed with And I don't know if they're being made to be that way by the power structure itself through the creation of films like The Matrix and whatnot. But I think that the simulation has more to do with just going against nature's way of doing things. And I'm not saying that there's a choice, because we have to go against nature's way of doing things to survive. So there's a catch. So the thing about the good and evil, there's a catch that just people aren't getting. So the nature's laws aren't about right and wrong. That's a man-made construct. Nature's laws are about survival and development. And so we have this all-encompassing development now, which is culminating in things like AI and such. And it's going to be a worldwide phenomenon, not surprisingly, because that's how nature recoils, recoups, and recaptures back to its natural processes. So we're even though we think we're in a simulation, and I think that the simulation is a deviation from nature, nature is always working to bring the natural order back to nature. And the natural order isn't like a man-made or human-made construct. The natural order is about, like I said, nature divides to survive.